That's the perfect test.
Exactly. There will be an intro before this, but just to say, this is Shuffle T, also known as Adam Willard, generally known as Shuffle T. Probably just only his mother, I guess, and close friends know you as Adam. Everyone else knows you as Shuffle.
Mum calls me Shuffle as well, actually.
Oh, does she? Really?
Yeah, the Shufflemeister.
Cool. Nice. Do you have you always been a shuffler? Do you always shuffle around? And
I'm big on shuffling, mate. I love a shuffle.
nice.
I was big into magic back in the day, back when I was like, a virgin, and so I was really into like card tricks and doing shuffles like that. That's why I named myself Shuffle. I say that's why. I mean, it doesn't really make any sense, but that's why apparently.
When you say back in the day, back when you were a virgin, is this like a few weeks or?
Yeah. COVID came at a really bad time for me. Now I can't even lose it in this year.
Damn it.
So, very annoying.
Well, just to get things started, anyone who doesn't know Shuffle T, he is a pretty well-acclaimed battle rapper, part of a duo. Would you say the better half of the duo of Shuffle T and Marlo?
Yes, I would.
Okay, yeah. Marlo actually declined to comment on this. So
yeah, of course he would. Yeah, he knows which side his bread's buttered.
And Shuffle T has just released a book called The Advanced Rhyming Dictionary, Multi-Syllabic Rhymes for Rappers and Poets. Is that right?
Happen to have it here. Yeah, that's absolutely
nice.
right. Advanced Rhyming Dictionary, Multi-Syllabic Rhymes for Rappers and Poets. Yeah, hell of a book. You can buy yours today.
Nice. And whereabouts can you buy that from?
You can get that on shuffle-t.com/shop.
Nice.
So that'll be.
The name's a bit the name's almost a rap itself, isn't it? It's quite a long.
Yeah, well, someone noticed a little while ago that if you take the initials of ARDRAP, Advanced Rhyming Dictionary, Rappers and Poets, it's like art of rap. It's like the art of rap. Like the art of rap, if you wanted to drop the T.
Oh, it's like very American-esque.
Yeah.
Nice. So how long has it been in the works, this book? How long did it take you to write?
All in all, it's been 7 years since I started it. I started it back in 2012, I think, when I first really got into like rap battles and stuff like that. And it was just like a place to put my rhymes, because it's weird rap battling. It's like it's one of the only mediums where you can only do your performance once. You can't like practice it on nights like comedy or music or theatre or anything like that, where you get to do it over and over again and like, shave bits off or make it tighter or anything like that. You get to just do it once against the person you're against, and then it just lives forever online. So all those rhymes that I was using that were kind of going nowhere, I just thought, well, I'll keep them in a little book. So I started that back in 2012. Then met Jamie Blees, who is the co-writer of the book, in 2014. And then things like ramped up a bit and we took it a bit more seriously. But we were never really meaning to publish it necessarily. We wanted one for ourselves, but this was just like a little handwritten. We were literally doing it by hand in moleskins and stuff. So it was just kind of a labour of love, just something to do for fun. And then towards the beginning of last year, I just thought, why not see if we can get this published? And so we did, yeah. And
how's it gone so far? How's the feedback from it?
It's been really positive, actually. Yeah, we've got some schools interested in it and stuff, because I think like the way that we've set it out is so that it's like it's not just a rhyming dictionary full stop. It's also got like loads of space to add your own and like write rhymes or poems or haikus, whatever you want in there. So like it's more to stimulate. It's not necessarily meant to be something that you just take the rhymes from and put them in your rap. It's more like, here's a writing prompt, here's something to allow you to get started in your writing. And it's the most rewarding sort of comments we're getting is that it's getting people back into writing. People used to write when they were sort of in their teens or whatever.
Nice.
Who've left it, and then they see the book and they're like, oh shit, I'll give that a go.
That's quite here. I guess so. Do you want to show, or like how does it? I mean, do you want to show how it works, or?
But yeah, sure. Yeah. So like, I think with this, reverse it. Will you see it in reverse?
Nope. I see it forward. I'm
not
sure about everybody else.
So like, what you do is like one of the biggest problems I found with rhyming dictionaries is that like usually the amount of pages, you can basically half, because half of it's just the index. Like
Okay.
there's usually about 250 pages of index because it's just lists of all the words. So if you're looking for a specific word, you have to go through all these things. And so we did the index phonetically, where you just sort of like write down the sounds. Excuse me. And because it's all about like multisyllabics rather than standard sort of like traditional rhymes like cat and mat and hat and those kind of things, sort of exact rhymes. These are more rough around the edges, playful, sort of like rap, the kind that you get in rap more often.
Yeah.
And so that's all based around the assonance, which is the vowel sound, rather than the exact consonants that it ends with. So for example, if we've got things like here, this list is like iPod, crime watch, cyclops, whitewash, lifelong, guide dog, blind spot, sight loss. And so all of those kind of go
Yeah.
but they don't end in the exact same letter, but it's more rough around the edges. And so like even something like this, like you can see how ideas could start to develop. Like that's just a one I've randomly pulled out, and there are 3 things there which are guide dog, blind spot, and sight loss, and they're all sort of like related. And you could be like, I suffer with sight loss, I've got a blind spot, so I need to have a guide dog. And so it's things like that. It's meant to like get the creative juices flowing to sort of like see where the stories are going to lead you. And also it's good for like, obviously a big part of rap is freestyle. And freestyle is like, it's a really difficult thing to get good at, and you need loads of practice. And so this is like kind of a beginner's step for freestyle. You've got these rhymes here and you just have to like fill in the blanks. So you'd be like, I was listening to Dido, then I went and got in and hopped in a lifeboat, and it was attached by a tightrope, and I caught it on my thigh bone, and then I did it. And then you can sort of like put the ideas together yourself. And that's like the first step of how to sort of, I don't know, develop a sort of feel for freestyle and timing when you rap and that kind of thing.
This could be quite fun, like not even just for rappers, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I mean, I can imagine in schools, but also even maybe, I don't know how, but some kind of party game, you could have like something
That's
like that.
there is a game element of it, and it's one of my favorite things to do is the little game. So I do like a weekly quiz on my podcast. I've got a podcast as well called Something About Rhyme, which is all about like multisyllabics and rhyme and all the kind of different ways that you can use it. And there's always a quiz at the end, which is like, it's set up like this. So if the rhyme scheme is reboot, which is E-U, then I give you a clue for what the next thing in that scheme is. So reboot, the next one is a big bird. What is it?
Reboot and a big bird. Oh my God, I'm on the spot now.
E-U.
Oh God, I can't even think. I'm off the spot.
Time.
Emu. Oh my.
Emu.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? We should get maybe a couple of people who are commenting right now. Oh. Okay, we've got a few people. Okay. There is a little bit of a delay, but maybe we could get some people to answer this in the questions.
So I do another one.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Okay. If the rhyme is hockey sticks, like then the clue is old school CD. Not really a CD. But what was before CDs?
Okay, now this is probably going to be, maybe this won't work because there's a delay of like 20 seconds.
It's also definitely not the best clue I've ever given. What was before CDs, but the elements are all there. Hockey sticks and what comes next. Yeah, it's sort of like.
I think I've got it.
Oh, do you think you've got it?
I think so, yeah. But just see if anyone else is. If there's any comments.
Give them a chance.
Yeah. They've probably just about heard it now. So yeah. Someone just commented, can we see some freestyle? Oh, someone's tape decks. Is the
tape decks is a good idea, but it's
not the one.
It's not close enough with the ot and ear.
No.
Hockey sticks.
I think.
What do you think it is?
I guess we'll see the answer if someone says it right. Is it mini disc?
Not mini disc. It's close. It's the last bit is right, but the first bit's off. You see, this is what the rhyme's all about. See, this is all about like the stressed syllables. So the stressed syllables are the ot and I. So it can't be mini disc because that's it and I, which would be like whizzle kicks or fish and chips or spinning it on my fingertips or things like that. But it's like shopping list or like, what is this? I've got a list or whatever, something like that.
Oh, is it compact disc?
Oh, that's good. All right, I'll say it now because that's close enough, right? Or what did you think, Ash?
No, that was my one.
Oh, that's good. It
So
was
we've what?
floppy disk.
Floppy disk.
Floppy
Oh,
disk.
okay. So we've just got
Compact disc isn't bad though because it's got the ot and ear. That's still
yeah,
nice.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, we I think someone's missed the point a little bit. They said tape decks. Oh, floppy disk, yes. There's floppy disk, discs, and tape decks. Just came in, and I think
Nice.
they put
Floppy
that in
disk is the one.
nice. Well done, Dean.
Fair play,
And
Dini.
shame to everyone else, but better luck next time.
But yeah, it's weird. It's quite it seems like quite a simple thing when you first hear about it, like
Yeah.
multisyllabic rhymes being, you know, it just feels like kind of maybe a step up or a step sideways to regular rhyme, and it seems like a really simple thing to grasp, but it's teasingly difficult, and it actually goes so much deeper as well. There are so many different ways to examine this rhyme, and there are so many different things to talk about it. It's so interesting. And it's all about syllable stress and sort of like pattern matching, you call it, where it's like, you know, things have to be in the exact same stress pattern in the same way, and they have to be close but not exact, and all this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And there's so many different types of this rhyme that you probably hear all the time, but you're just not that familiar with. And as soon as you get into it, as soon as you start hearing this kind of rhyme for what it is, then any of that old traditional rap you used to hear, just it doesn't feel as good.
Yeah.
You know, or the classic rhyme, traditional rhyme, just doesn't feel the same. And then you start seeing it everywhere, and you get obsessed like I do, and then you write a stupid book.
So you could probably write a few books on this, I guess. And there's going to be
We're already working on the second one. Yeah.
Really
It
nice.
doesn't stop, mate.
How did you actually get into, like, I mean, I followed your Don't Flop stuff for a couple of years. Absolutely hilarious, I gotta say. Like, honestly, I'm a massive fan of hip hop and rap in general, and absolutely, yeah, love your stuff. The
thank you, man.
the rhymes is amazing. So yeah, how did you actually get into it? Because no offense, you don't seem like a
Yeah, I get that. So like I've always been into it. Like I was watching a lot of battle rap back in the day. I started battle rapping in 2012. I think I was probably watching it from about 2008 or 2009, something like that. Which would have been, I would have been like 18 or something like that. And I was watching a lot, and I liked Eminem, but like I you know, that was it basically. I didn't have a very eclectic music taste when it came to rap. It was just like a couple of people who were popular or whatever.
Yeah.
But then when I started watching the battle raps and stuff, I got quite into it, and it's quite an addictive thing. It's like a rabbit hole. You start watching one, and then you watch the next one, and then the next one. You know the feeling, right?
Definitely.
So I'd watched so many, and I was watching them with my friend Marlo or Theo, who became my rapping partner, and also just my best mate. And we were just like, we should just give this a try one day. We should. Oh no, that's not it. So we were like, we should go to one of these one day. We need to attend one because we've been seeing them online, and we need to actually be there face to face. And so we went to one, and we didn't know it was in Shepherd's Bush. It turned out it was a freestyle event. Most of them are pre-written since like the written era, since about 2007 or something like that. So we expected it to be written, but it was freestyle. And this, honestly, this always sounds like a plot from a terrible film, but they were one person short. And I had previously said to Freddie Scott Miller, who was the co-founder of Don't Flop, I had said to him, "Oh yeah, I rap, mate," because I was really blackout drunk. So I was like, "Yeah, I rap, mate." And he was like, "Oh, you said you rap, right? Well, we're one person short." And I was like, "Yes, that's fine." And so I went up there and had a battle, and I was so terrible that people thought I was being ironic. Because have you ever been that bad at something that people think you're doing a bit, that people think that you're like above and looking in and parodying it? That's how bad you are, and you're actually trying your very best. Because that happened. And I was like, I think I said something like, "Yo, I'll take you to France and start making you dance." And everyone was like, "Oh, that's so good. And that's so funny, you know, what a joke." And I was like, I really thought I was getting him with some hard-hitting bars. But I was just saying what came into my head. And so I got invited back for a written one.
They invited you back?
Yeah. Because they were like, "Oh, we like the sort of, we like the parody edge you have with it." And I was like, yeah, me too. But then, so I came back and I sort of had like I tried to write funny but not parody, because I really like it and I wanted to like pay respect to it. So I didn't want to be parody and be like, "Oh, look at this, all seen, very interesting." So started writing, and then just kind of thought it would be a good vehicle to get a name for like comedy writing, which I wanted to get into at the time.
Nice.
And I do a bit of now. And so, yeah, I just sort of followed through with it. And here I am 8 years later.
Champion. You are still
Champion,
the champion, right?
We're the doubles champion. Yeah, me and Marlo
Yeah.
are the 2-on-2 champions of the UK. Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you. What is it, Big J and Lefty are crying right now watching this?
No, they're watching us with a happy tear. They're like,
oh yeah,
boys are growing up.
Is everything like? I mean, because I've just been down the rabbit hole, so I only see this side of things from the other side of the screen. I guess, is everybody friends? Is it good? Like, you know, do you really upset each other ever? Do you ever see guys like, you know, storming off set, or, you know, punching someone on stage or throwing a drink out of anger?
It's basically all good. Like, it's the thing that you don't expect about battle rap is how nice of a community it is. I mean, like, it's not great online. There's a lot of like, you know, head bumping, and you're never sure how much of that is character and how much of that is actually people, you know, but in person, when you're there, everyone's friends with everyone pretty much, and you'd be hard pushed to find someone who actually has a problem with someone else. And I think mainly the reason for that is because, like, what is there to have a problem about? Because say you have a problem with someone, well, then you battle them, and then you say all the things that they're annoyed about, and then you know, very rarely in those kind of instances do you actually just say everything that's on your mind and why that person's annoyed you. And then after that, there's such a feeling of elation and of like getting that off your chest. You just go for a pint, you both go, and you talk about, you know, oh, I loved your bit when you said this, and then everyone's just chilling out together. So it's a real community feel. Like, it's not the same. That's Britain. I don't think that's the same in the US as much. Like, I think there is still a big feel, but like, there's URL seems incredibly serious. I've seen a couple of there's been a couple of fights when I've gone over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's been someone punched someone in the face and someone kicked someone off the stage, and it's not as tea and crumpets as it is over here and there. They're not so you know, it does differ a bit, but basically everyone's all mates and everyone's all right with each other. So, yeah.
Whereabouts have you performed then? You performed in America, Canada?
America, Canada, Denmark, Paris, and Australia, I believe, and Germany.
I think I've seen. Oh my God, I've seen.
Oh, and Denmark. Did I say Denmark?
Yeah, you said Denmark. Yeah. Because you're sponsored by Volvo, right?
We've been trying to push that so hard. One day they will call back.
Oh, that was absolutely brilliant. Like, again, anyone who hasn't seen any of his doubles raps, you should check out. Who is? I can't remember who it's against.
It was Nils Maskills and
yes, he's great.
Oh God, I've forgotten his name. Henry Bowers.
Henry Bowers is brilliant. Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah, nice. And when it happens in the UK, like, when everyone is like friends and stuff, do you kind of meet up outside of it and collaborate on things, or is it, you know?
Not with the person that you're against. I mean, like, if it's a 2-on-2, then you meet up with your battle rap partner and you guys, you know, you write it together a lot of the time. But not you know what you're going to say, but it would take a lot of the sting out if you knew what the other person's going to say. So it's not like, some people compare it to wrestling, and it is similar to wrestling in that, you know, it's all characters and bravado and that kind of thing. But we never actually go through it with each other. Because you want a bit of spontaneity, and also there is still a competitive element, and you know, it's a lot of effort to go around and hang out with someone that you're trying to insult as much as you can. I'm trying to talk about why you're such a prick, but I've got it here. Can you take a look at this for me? Yeah, sure.
It's almost it really is like therapy. It seems like.
I think it is a lot of it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of the people in the battle rap scene need therapy. I think quite a lot. So,
well, that's a big diss you put out just there.
Put it down on the ground, man. But yeah, I think it is a bit of it. It's very like cathartic, but it's also, I mean, I don't know how a lot of other people feel about it, but it's also terrifying to like go up and do it, because you never know what the other person's going to say. They might genuinely harbour some real disdain for you and want to really embarrass you, which has happened. You know, we've seen people be outed for having extramarital affairs halfway through a rap battle, like very, very.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it was fucking. Sorry, I keep swearing.
You can swear, I don't mind.
It was very intense. Yeah, and like, you never know if someone really has a problem with you, I suppose. It can happen. And also, you just, you know, there's always this underlying fear that you're going to that you're going to choke and you're going to forget your stuff, which happens, and it's awful.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's so awful.
Fuck. Do you? Yeah, if you guys like, if you choke on stage or you're with someone who's choking, do you find people are supportive of it, or is it like, you suck?
It really is 50-50. I mean, you'll never get anyone booing. You never get anyone booing in the UK. You get it in the US sometimes, but not in the UK.
Cool.
Like, people will either be quiet, which is sort of
Painful.
worse. Yeah. People just like respectfully quiet, waiting for you to remember. Because it's happened to me once in Newcastle. I think there was about 1,000 people in the crowd. I was against a hometown guy, and I just basically left it a bit late, and I was writing stuff on the way up as well for a different battle and stuff like this. So like, I hadn't really had a chance to practice as much as I'd like, and I got to like I think the third round, and I just completely froze up. And I looking back on the recording, it's about 10 seconds, but it was about 4 hours on stage. It's awful.
Oh,
and it's
God.
so quiet, and it's so deathly quiet, and you just like, and I do this really, it's one of those things where like, when you look back and you see it, you cringe all the way through, because I'm like, yo, and then to buy time, I go, like just coughing to try and buy time, like as I've got nothing to say, like as if people would be like, oh, he's fine, he's just clearing his throat, and then it'll be right back in the action. No, I've forgotten everything I wrote.
Oh no, I guess you lost that.
I actually won it.
No.
I did actually win that one.
Whoa.
When you're this good, mate.
Oh yeah. Is that you just have to show up and just kind of like give a yo and that's it, and then
I flexed, I coughed, and I yoed, and I got out of there 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0. It was only one round, but you beat him 3-0. It's nice.
Levels, mate. There are levels.
How long do you guys like? How long do you have to prepare for something? Like, do you find out like a week before you've got this opponent, or obviously I don't know if you can give this away because this might be trade secrets.
No, I don't think anyone would mind. It's not usually that short notice. Sometimes it's a week. Sometimes it's 24 hours. But like, if it is a 24-hour notice, then the audience will know that, if you know what I mean. Like, they'll be told that this was 24 hours or this was late prep. So there's a sort of expectancy you get, you know, as the crowd, that you know, you give them a bit of leeway. But usually I'd say anywhere between 2 weeks and a month.
Okay.
But that battle that you mentioned earlier, the Germany one against Nils Maskills and Henry Bowers, that was a year in advance.
Whoa.
Because it got cancelled once, and then we had about a year to work. Obviously we didn't do it every day. We left it till pretty late, you know.
As you do.
Yeah, we left it to about 2 months, which is still quite a lot of time, but like, you know, there's no need to write the whole time.
No.
But yeah, it can depend. It can depend.
We've got some more people, by the way, who are asking for another chance to.
Oh, they want another challenge?
Yeah, another challenge.
All right.
And someone just said, Shuffle Tea here on Shifty, killing it, smashing it, rapping swiftly.
That's not bad.
Nice.
They might have just earned themselves a spot in my top 5.
Nice. Okay. All right. Come on, Eminem. Let's.
All right. Let's knock this out of the park. Okay. Here we go. That's a nice one. Okay. Beauty Queen. That's the rhyme. Beauty Queen. And remember, you're thinking of oo and een. The middle syllable doesn't matter that much. That's what we call like an unstressed or a dead syllable. So it still needs to have a middle syllable, as in the beauty, but it's like beauty queen.
Okay.
So don't worry so much about the middle syllable. Just think about the first and last. And I'm going to say one-armed bandit. That's the clue.
Okay, so rhyme is beauty queen, clue one-armed bandit. Okay,
that's it.
I've just put that in the comments. This is quite weird, actually, because I wasn't sure how it would go. Because always doing the live thing, you never get, you know, it's not as, you don't get as many views as necessary afterwards. People download.
Right.
And so I was a bit worried that, you know, maybe I'd suggest it and like no one would say anything. I just have to really fail at doing something.
You just pretend people are commenting to me to make me feel better. Oh, there's loads, mate. 300 comments. Oh, they're all saying Shuffle's the king.
Actually, I think they said that I'm the king.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. That seems
uh,
weird that they say that.
they say what someone says. Let's have a rap battle. Ash versus Shuffle T, and then we've got Uh, so my last name is Clatworthy. So someone's put Clatters is there though in disguise. Oh shit, he's right there. Surprise, surprise! My God, he's pretty nifty. What do you expect? It's Shifty.
Hey.
Nice. And we got so if you are out and about and overhear an interesting conversation. Oh no, fuck! I was reading it as a question to you. Oh.
Was it another rap?
No, I thought it was a rap, but it's just a question. Like,
Oh.
so I'm trying to put a spin on it. Yo.
It's trying to rap an unrhymable sentence.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just refresh these, see if we've got any answers.
Someone must have got it. That was an easy clue, I think.
Oh. No.
What was it? No one.
We've got radio silence.
Mugs.
Oh, Beauty Queen, Chasing the Dream.
No.
No.
It's too many syllables.
Okay.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4 for Chasing the Dream, but Beauty Queen is only 3.
So it should be 3 syllables then.
Yeah, it should just sound like Doo-da-dee, like Stuart Lee or Judas Priest or Human League.
Okay. Truly Mean.
Truly Mean. That works, but it's not the right one.
Looking Lean.
Looking Lean. It's funny because sometimes when you see some certain ones, you have to like force the one to work. Looking Mean.
It's poetic license, right? I mean,
oh yeah, 100%. Eminem does it all the time. If he can do it.
Are you whilst people are responding, or maybe maybe they're giving up. Come on, guys. Yeah, we've only got these few ones. Do you listen to hip hop much yourself?
Yeah, I listen to hip. I'm pretty particular with all my whatever kind of music I'm listening to. I'm very particular. I listen to the same kind of people quite a lot, so I don't have the most eclectic music taste. But I mean, yeah, Eminem is a sort of an old shirt that I throw on now and then when I'm feeling cozy in that. I love Royce da 5'9", Slaughterhouse, Crooked Eye, everyone in Slaughterhouse individually, Horseshoe Gang, Frank Ocean. Kanye's brilliant. I kind of like anyone who I feel like pays quite a bit of attention to what they're writing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who's sort of wherever, like I'm not. I know it's kind of like fashionable to not be into them anyway, but I'm not that into the sort of like mumble rap, trap heavy kind of thing as much.
Mm-hmm. Well, they rhyme the same things as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's very repetitive. I do like a bit of grime, but I'm not as into grime as I should probably be.
Do you like it?
I like
much
Dave.
UK?
Yeah, I like Dave and I like Stormzy and that, but I'm not really very good with grime. I don't know that much. I think it's because like the exceptions are people like Stormzy and Dave, who I think write really, really well, but a lot of the time it's
lazy.
I get a bit repetitive sometimes for me. Yeah.
What about like UK hip hop? Because there's a great scene of that.
I love Rhyme Asylum from back in the day. Yes, I listen to them like every day.
Amazing.
All the time. I'm hoping to get Skirmish from Rhyme Asylum onto my podcast soon, actually.
Oh, nice.
He's like, he used to come to the battles all the time. And he's an amazing writer.
Oh, incredible. Absolute genius.
Yeah. So I'm hoping to get I love Rhyme Asylum. That's basically what I'm listening to in my whole isolation. It's just been nothing but that. And like Lee Scott I like as well and stuff. Yeah.
Cool. I absolutely love the UK hip hop scene. I think it's too underground in the sense of I wish that some of the guys got more exposure. Jam Baxter and Chester P and these guys are absolute incredible. The wordplay and not even just the rhymes, but like the levels to which they go to the references and it's insane.
Yeah.
We've really got cool. A couple more. Okay, Houdini.
No. Houdini goes to like Zucchini and Luigi.
Someone's right. I don't know even how to say that. Djibouti.
Oh, Djibouti, like the country.
Djibouti, yeah, I guess Digi, Diji.
Yeah, it's that tiny little African country, I think, Djibouti. No, it's not
Venuti.
that. Venuti, no.
These are
Beauty
obscure.
Queen. That's the right. Shall I just say it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It was Fruit Machine, One Arm Bandit. You know those things. Fruit Machine with the Beauty
Oh.
Queen. The clues
Okay.
are mean.
Damn it. Okay, so maybe what we can do is you can give one more to them, and we'll just leave it for a bit. We'll carry on talking and let them, spend the next. Maybe they need like
All
20.
right. I want to
Maybe
convince
next
people.
podcast they will have come up with an answer.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
I'm tempted to give a really difficult one, like African American. No, that's too long. I was going to say
Do it not
African
too
American and
difficult.
character development
Oh, that's good.
and national intelligence.
National-
No, I'll give them the book. I'll give them from the book because that's just
Okay.
2 and 3 syllable ones.
Yeah.
Oh, have you got me?
Yeah,
Says
your
information is
internet is.
unstable, but I think is it Dodge?
Yeah, it keeps. It says shuffle and then it goes red, so it's kind of shuffling. Yeah.
Every day. All right. What about? Let's see. Okay, I'll give you one that's like a classic. Everyone in rap battles and rap uses this pairing, right? So it can't be that difficult. Okay. I'm gonna give the scheme is dinosaur, like dinosaur, I and or. And then the clue is a bone in the body or a set of bones. And that's the clue.
So dinosaur, I or, and a bone or set of bones in the body. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just going to scroll up because there was that's a question that I tried to wrap. So if you are out and about and you overhear an interesting conversation, have you ever randomly burst in with rap?
Not yet. Not yet.
Please
but
do.
I don't think it won't happen in my lifetime.
Oh, you
But
should.
I always overhear people, and then in my head, I'll do a rhyme to it. Or if a lot of the time, someone will just say something in conversation, and it will rhyme, and I'll have to internalize the fact that I'm really excited by it. Like someone said once, "Have you seen the vacuum cleaner?" And I said, like, "Have you seen the vacuum cleaner?" And I was just like, "Ah, I like that." That's just a completely normal thing to say. Have you seen the vacuum cleaner?
Oh my
I get
God.
so excited over the most like mundane things. Someone once saw a sign in one of those deli bits in a shop, and it said Italian chopped tomato with basil and oregano, which is like a 7-syllable rhyme. Italian chopped tomato with basil and oregano. It sounds so nice, and I was just like, I was like, why are we a bunch of people who get excited about a sign in a deli? Why has that become our lives?
You must be loving the lockdown then. This is probably doing.
Oh, mate, I'm like, yeah. I've been working on the book non-stop. I've just been writing rhymes. I was doing a bunch of like lockdown blues videos where I was just like, just send me information about someone who's in lockdown and I'll write a rap. And I was just doing that because I just love rhyming stuff.
Nice.
Just love it.
Oh, I think we got answers, by the way.
Uh-oh.
Spinal cord.
That's it.
Yes, well done, everyone.
Yeah, first go.
Great, and a few people said that. So, I mean,
nice.
The first person said it, and maybe the others just copied them. But I'll give you it all.
Yeah, probably.
I like this. I wouldn't mind doing. Oh, Skeletor. Someone's posted just later now. Okay, I'll just say well done. I'll quickly delete they've asked. Great. Cool. Lost track of where we were. You lockdown blues.
Hey, whoever got dinosaur first, get them to send me their name, and I'll send them a copy of the book.
Oh, okay,
The book
nice
sent
one.
out.
Great.
Easy,
Okay,
I'm a billionaire. I can do that.
nice, great.
I'm a multi-billionaire from the sales of this.
You've got
Multi-billion selling.
billions of rhymes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
At least billion, maybe
And
trillions.
if you sold them all for like 10 cents a rhyme, you'd definitely be a billionaire.
Yeah, even a humble 50p each. I'd be laughing.
Whoa.
I'd be giggling.
Nice. Do you write normal rap like yourself? Like
I write normal rap for myself. Like
songs?
I don't really, yeah, I don't really put it out there as much. Like I might do a parody one now and then, or not a parody, but like a jokey one. Like I did one about being locked down in isolation and how you just wank all the time. And
Mate, I saw on your
that kind of thing.
Instagram, I think.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh my
But
god.
like, I don't know. I don't do that many serious things because, like, I don't know. Like, I think the word comedian is really cringy, but like, I guess I sort of try to be more like a comedian. I do a bit of stand up now and then, and I like writing comedy and things like that. So I don't want to take myself too seriously. So sometimes I write stuff and just keep it for myself, but it's usually on like a very specific theme, like a song about Marvel or bloody The Simpsons or something like that. Something that, yeah, not too serious, but like a bit serious, I guess.
Okay. Do you think you'll ever put out any of that stuff? Like, would you release a single or an album or EP or?
Probably not anything like that. Like probably the most likely thing I do is put it on I've got a Patreon account, and like now and then I just put up random bits on there. So I'll probably put them up on there and just be like, if you want to listen to this, then fine. But I wouldn't really, unless it was comedy, I wouldn't put out an album or anything like that, or an EP. Just because, like I said, I don't know. I've sort of spent ages cultivating this sort of like comedic rap character, and I think I'd be in real danger of being, when people just do that, when you're like, why is Bradley Walsh releasing an album? Why is that happening? and I would hate to, not that I'm as big as Bradley Walsh one day.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it would just sort of be a bit like that, a bit weird. So yeah, I think I probably, the thing I'm more interested in is like rhyme theory and that kind of thing. Like I love the idea of rhyme, like multi-syllabic rhyme and the history of rhyme and that kind of thing, like taught in schools and stuff like that. And I love the idea of teaching people how to rhyme for like mnemonics, and there are so many uses of rhyme. Like it's so therapeutic and it's so like satisfying. It's like a fun hobby. It's a way to play with language, just like another way to playing with language, which is fun for lots of people anyway. Like it's one of those things where you sort of, the more into it you get, the more you realize that it's this massive puzzle that you didn't even know that you have all the pieces for. It's just really fun to mess about with. So I'm more interested in that side and trying to make it, I guess, a bit more taken more seriously, because historic like rhyme and poetry and that kind of thing, that's all seriously, but the sort of rhyme that you get in rap and modern spoken word and stuff, it's not, you can't really find much of it. There's not, it would never be taught in schools, I don't think, if someone doesn't try to make it. It's but it's unbelievably interesting, and it has so many layers to it that I don't think a lot of academics perhaps give as much credit as it deserves.
I agree completely.
So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I just want to sort of make more people aware of it and its incredible appeal, really. Yeah, I think it's brilliant. So that's what in the podcast, it's all I'm going on about is just like, analyzing people's rhymes and sort of breaking it down and looking at the complexity of it and the different devices and, anything that I can think of with rhyme, because I've done 8 episodes now, or 7 episodes, and after the fact, I sort of explained what the type of rhyme was, and I was like, oh God, what else am I going to talk about? And then I realized that it just never stops. There's more and more all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I'm losing you. You're breaking up a bit. Hello? Hello? And are we here? Well, we can't have Shuffle T right now. Basically, what happened, it glitched out. We were doing a rap battle and he just left because I'm the king of the rap battles, apparently. Shuffle, if you can hear this. Actually, yeah, hopefully you can't hear this because you probably would beat me, I guess. What is happening with your video? We're going to pause this. Okay, and we're
Are we
back.
back in business?
We're back in
There we
business.
go.
Cool. Okay, there might be a little bit of audio editing for the podcasting to be done. So sorry, Billy, for the guy who's doing that. It says your signal keep saying shuffling in and out. Fucking hell. Your signal is flashing in and out. So if
Sorry,
again,
sorry, Matt. I don't know what to do with it. It seems like it's okay. It says full, but yeah, it might be messed up. Is it okay for the moment?
yeah, it's okay for the moment. I'll just check. I can both see and hear you. Okay, cool.
Wicked.
Cool. Oh, and there's lots of comments. Oh, I think you've been challenged. Someone's challenged someone to a rap. No. Oh God, it's all rap battles. Well, I wouldn't mind at some point, maybe not now, but at some point I'll send you over. I write quite a lot of rap myself.
Oh yeah, sick.
But it's more serious, like I guess political and kind of philosophical, profound stuff. Like so, I wouldn't mind having an analysis done of your of some of my bars at some point.
Maybe it'll cost you. It'll cost you £25,000.
25,000. Whoa! Oh my God.
Per verse.
Per verse. Well, luckily I only write haikus.
That's more. That's 30k.
Oh fuck! Darn.
Yeah, sorry, mate. It just rules and rules.
Yeah, you didn't make them, right? The gods of rap battle made them.
I didn't, but I mean, I did, but I didn't want to.
Oh, there's a comment here saying that Boris needs to work on this country's Wi-Fi.
Yeah, true. He just put his finger up, mate.
Definitely. And another question is, I know that your passion is rap, but do you have a favorite poet that you could recommend?
I'm not that into poetry, if I'm honest, and
okay.
I think that's probably more a lack of interest. I don't know. It's. I was reading someone the other day, something bird. Can't remember her name. I like what's his name? The guy.
Oh, we're losing you again.
But yeah, no, I'm not into it enough to have a favorite. Really, I never really found myself that interested in it. I don't know why, because obviously there's so many similarities, and people talk about the similarities all the time, and they are, in abundance. I just find it a bit sort of impenetrable for me. I find it something. I'm quite a passive listener or a passive like watcher of films or TVs or anything like that. So if I read something, I want it to be quite easily accessible. I don't want to have to I don't like reading something that I have to work towards understanding necessarily. I don't mind if there's like a metaphor or a message behind it, but sometimes I find some poetry too impenetrable. But Charles Bukowski, I like, who is quite straight talking and stuff, but he's probably dated a bit now. But he's I enjoyed reading him.
Cool. Nice. And what about your? This is a question actually from me, not from someone who's typing. What about for your rap battles? What was your favorite out of the ones that you've done? And maybe if it's the same one, what would you say defines you the most out of those?
Which one defines me? I would say I was quite happy with my battle versus Anton Murphy, who is a chap who is on Big Brother. And
Really?
yeah, he was on Big Brother. He came out, he had a battle against someone, and then just started calling out people who had been doing it for ages. or at least longer than him. And then he was the only person I battled who I genuinely disliked, who I really, really had to like embarrass a bit. Do you know what I mean? And so there's a bit more venom in that one than there is in other ones, like because I'm genuinely there's real dislike for it. There's real disdain. But I think the one that defines me the most is probably my one against a guy called Heretic, who he's a vegan, and so my whole first round was about veganism and stuff like that, which was a lot of fun. And then the second round was the first time I tried to do what we call like a concept round, where the whole round, because battle rap is broken into 3 rounds, right? So the whole round is just sort of like one concept, one idea, and it was just like a conversation, an imagined conversation that I had with someone in a coffee shop about how I didn't know who Heretic was. So someone comes up and he's like, "Oh, do you know Heretic?" And I'm like, "No, sorry." And he just keeps trying to explain it to me, and I just keep not knowing who he is.
Brilliant.
And that's like one of my favorite rounds that I think I've written. And so I think that one defines me a bit like the most, because it's kind of like a comedy sketch, which is what I write as well, in my spare time, that kind of thing. So it's a nice mixture of the two things, rap and comedy sketches.
Do you do stand-up then as well?
I have done stand-up. Yeah, I did do in the past for about a year, I'd say. It wasn't really for me. I was doing sort of like one-liners and stuff like that, and I do like writing one-liners when they come to me, and it is fun to like practice being on stage and stuff. But there's a lot of dislike about doing stand-up, and most of them are other comedians. And like I mean, if you don't want to, if you're doing it right, you should go on.
I would say you don't want to be what you hate.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think like if you're doing it well, like if you're being active in it, then you should probably be going to like 3 nights a week of like these open mics to try and get And let me tell you, like there are 15 people usually minimum on any one night. So then you're seeing 15 times 3, which is 45 a week. 45 times 4 a month is nearly 200. So over a year, you're seeing a ridiculous amount of comedians. They're all doing 5-minute sets, and like obviously some of them are amazing, but a lot of them are just like people who come and they go, "So Trump, like what's that about?" And then that gets a laugh, and then they go, "And Brexit, like what? Who thought of Brexit?" And like this is one of the things I'm afraid about when we come out of the lockdown, is that stand-up for the next 5 years is just going to be people going, "So coronavirus was a bit weird, wasn't it? Was a bit odd.
My God.
Do you think that? Do you find it a bit odd?" And I'm just going to be like, "No, I am leaving the building." So yeah, it wasn't my kind of scene. I did enjoy it a bit, but it wasn't enough for me to stick around for more than a year.
Yeah, I can imagine. Personally, I like the idea of it, but I would not want to have to go through that whole 15 times 3, etc. I'd rather just jump up and be at the point where you don't have to deal with all that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want to just get on, do your 5 minutes, and then bounce out, and everyone goes, "See you later, have a good one." But no, you always have to stay. You always have to get there on time and early and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, it was costing me a fortune in drinks because they're always pubs. There's no comedy nights that are open mics that aren't a pub, and so and you normally have to bring a friend to like they bring a night. So then you feel guilty that you're making someone come and see your stand-up show for the 5th time. So you're buying them drinks and you're buying yourself drinks to get like Dutch courage, and you're spending like $4,000 a week on beer.
No wonder comedians always go on about being broke. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well. Have you been to Edinburgh Fringe?
I have been, yeah. I went. I think I've just been there once a couple of years ago. It was really, really fun. It's very intense. Like just to watch. I mean, I co-wrote something with my friend Rob Broderick, which he performed. He goes under a Banderman, and he had a show out there that I co-wrote. So I was there with work and to see that.
Cool.
And it was a really fun experience, but yeah, very intense, very intense. It's just sort of, it's there's only so many times you can sit down for an hour in complete silence and then go somewhere else and do the same thing again. It is enjoyable, but I think I'd go for like a day, but then that's not really worth it the same way. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah. I went there 2 years ago, and I stayed with a friend just outside of in Bathgate, which is just like 15 minutes outside of Edinburgh. So it was really nice because I felt I got the same feeling about it being intense, but we were able to go in and then go back to his, have a break, and then maybe
that's nice.
next afternoon or evening just come for a bit. Yeah,
that's the way to do it, I think, probably. Yeah.
I can imagine though, even with your book, you could do something there that could go down quite well, I think.
Well, I've been doing something recently. I've been doing some like, despite saying I'm not that into poetry, I've been doing like poetry nights. I've been performing at them because but I'm not doing poetry. I'm not doing
edit that out if you want the whole bit before.
Yeah, my sponsors are going to drop me like that. I don't have any. But no, what I've been doing is like, because there's nowhere else to do this. It's just poetry nights are the place where it fits in. I've been doing things like talking about, just basically having this kind of conversation, but on stage, and also doing things like, I've got this thing called a rhyme circle where you start at one word and you rhyme the things, and you come back to the original word, but there's like information in there. And I've got this, my sort of like closer is that I can recite pi to about 250 or 300 numbers because I rhyme it all. And so I can rhyme the whole of pi to an audience, and that's what I do. And I thought that would be really, really boring and people would boo me off, but people seem to think it's vaguely interesting. So
Whoa.
I do that.
Could you give me like 10 numbers?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have the first few memorized because I just know them. So it's 3.14159, and then it's the Christmas tree isn't great, which is 53, 58. But I'm in heaven, 97. I'm in Glee, 93. Very pleased, 23. With Jason Bourne's dick, 84.6. I think that is 10. And then so it's like the whole story that rhymes. So then it's like Jason Bourne's dick, and his dick is there, and then his dick gets hit with a jellyfish, which is 26, and then it gets hit with War and Peace, which is 43, and then he gets and then along comes Kurt Cobain, which is 38, who has a serving spoon, which is 32, and he eats he turns into Jefferson Price, which is 79, and then he eats a rich tea, which is 50, and then a pepper steak, which is 28, and then there's Jason Bourne again, which is 84 again, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on.
How long did you spend on that?
You know what? Not as long as you think. Only 2 years. No, I'm joking. It was like it probably every 50 digits that I remember probably takes about 2 hours to learn. So it's not that long, because like it's when you make it into a story, it's just you're just remembering that story, and the images are really clear, and I just have to rhyme the image. So when I see Jason Bourne, I just know that's 84, and there's no other number that can be. And if it's similar to something else, like 59 and 69 sound very similar, then I'll begin the word with an F. It'll be like fishing line for 59, rather than 69. Things like that. So
nice.
And this is what I mean about like the capability of this kind of rhyme. Who would have thought that you could use a rhyme to, memorize 250 digits of pi? But
whoa.
It's all there, and you can do it. Yeah.
Does your
that's what I do. I love doing live stuff like that.
Oh, sorry.
I failed math so bad.
Yeah.
The only thing I can do is just say numbers.
Oh, we've got a couple more. I'm sorry, it keeps refreshing. So there's a few more. Because of the internet's dropping out, someone said this is like Apollo 13. There's a question. What's the most offensive line you've ever rapped?
This is right. It's probably, how it's not even that insulting on the face of it. It's just the fact that you say it at all. But we said to one guy, we just basically said, I can't remember the exact words now. We were calling his girlfriend ugly, which is a really horrible thing to do, but there's no line in battle raps, right? So you have a go at everyone. And so we were saying his girlfriend was unattractive, or that she was punching above her weight with him. And we said something like, like our advice is keep her alone in a dark place. If she's a trophy wife, she's a trophy for last place. Keep her alone in a dark space. If she's a trophy wife, she's a trophy for last place. And that was, I felt pretty nasty saying that, because I was thinking, what's here? Thank God he had broken up with her by that point. But if not, she could have just been there and like, why are you bringing me into this? And we'd be like,
Oh, I've lost you again.
it's usually just quite cheap, I suppose. Oh, am I back?
Oh, you are back, and I just got about 5 seconds of.
That is what I said.
Yeah.
I said
Double time rapping.
Yeah, most of the time it's just.
Oh, I'm losing you again.
Stuff, but now and then you just sort of put, oh no, I don't know what to do.
Shall we try and I don't know if it's your connection has gone green again. I'm guessing it keeps going between green and red.
Right.
If it drops out again, then maybe we should just switch to video and just turn off and just have audio. I mean, sorry, just have audio, not switch to video.
Sure, yeah.
Otherwise, we just look at us.
We just write our answers down on a sheet of paper.
Nice, yeah. Oh, I got another question. Have you ever considered or have you done workshops for disaffected teens? I think you would be great, and what a great way of developing a passion for words.
That's a very nice idea.
Oh.
Did you say disinfected teens?
Maybe
I would hope that's the minimum I ask. That's the minimum I ask my teens, is to be disinfected.
Well, what was it? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah. But yeah, I have done some like workshop stuff. I've done some stuff with schools and stuff, like after school clubs now and then, for like 11 to 12-year-olds, just to learn sort of writing raps. And we did when we were, it was a couple of years ago, Don't Flop, which is the league that I was doing a lot of battling on. Did a whole day at a school, which was really cool, where it sort of like taught kids to make a rap battle for and against renewable power sources and stuff like that. So it was a way of sort of going, here's a way to interact with rhymes, and also, you know, you have to answer these questions in your GCSEs, like what are the pros and cons of this. So it's just a nice way to do that. But yeah, I would like the idea to work with kids more, but I think maybe the way I could help mostly in that is to sort of have a school of thought that I would give to other people. I don't think I would actually be that good with kids. I don't know how patient I am, and also like there's just something that doesn't seem that palatable about like a middle class white posh guy going into like a London school and being like, hey, do you want to learn rap? And you know, because they'd be like, well, why are you the person to teach me to do that? You know what I mean? So like, yeah. Although I'm interested in doing that kind of thing, I don't necessarily think I'm the best person to do it. I don't think it's my place. It's much better to have someone who comes from a place where they have done rap since they were a kid and they loved it, and that's what got them fans about it. Like, I would love to.
Oh, shit. Oh, we've lost the stream again.
I just in that way.
I think that I'm going to.
Oh, really?
I'm going to pause your video and see if this works a bit better.
Okay, mate.
Okay, it just says shuffle right now, so we'll see how that works. If you could repeat the last part about, well, I didn't hear it. you were saying someone who's grown up experiencing rap, and then that's all I heard.
Yeah, I think that someone who has grown up listening to rap their whole life and feels a bit more part of the culture than I am. Like, I'm sort of by extension, I'm part of the culture, because I do battle raps and stuff. But I represent a part of the culture that isn't the true culture.
Yeah, I understand.
If that makes sense. Like, the true culture is, you know, more of a working class route, you know, that kind of thing. People want to see people who have, you know, been through something and come out the other side of it, not like a middle class white guy who has lived his whole life at
Yeah.
one point and basically continued all the way through it. Like, it's not really space. It's not my fight to win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's sort of like, you know, how loads of people had problems with Maya Jama doing like body positivity. They were like, you're not allowed to do that. You're a size 8. You're fine. You can't be like, oh, body positivity because you know, you're not overweight. Do you know? It's that kind of thing. It's that
Yeah,
kind of thing, I think.
I understand. I think I don't know. It depends how you actually put yourself across. I mean, if you come in, if you went into like an inner city school, acted as if you were from the hood and you were,
Yeah.
ghetto, whilst obviously not being, then that would be a lot different. But I think, if you came in, like, if you came in dressed how you dress normally, which is, reasonably smart, from what I've seen, I think that people respect that, like, as in, if they came in, if you come in and they show your actual talent, they see your actual talent, then
I
it
guess
transcends that,
I think it's just one of those things where like it just doesn't sit that well with me. I
Oh, fair
love the
enough.
idea of being like involved in it and, you know, coming up with
Yeah.
you know, for want of a better word, like a curriculum.
Yeah.
I would probably just feel a bit sort of, you know, white guilty about it.
White guilt. Uh, so someone's asked, did 8 Mile inspire you?
Did it inspire me? Do you know what? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I must have watched 8 Mile before I knew about Battle Rap.
Mm-hmm.
I think when I watched 8 Mile, I was like, oh, this is kind of cool to be a part of, because phrase it, it's like this dark, dank sort of like, you know, gritty underground. The police would come and bust it up, and like,
Yeah.
obviously in the UK and in America, it's not really like that anymore. Like, it probably was a bit more like that maybe in the 90s or something like that, but
Mm-hmm.
now it's very presentable. But like, I think I was a massive Eminem fan, so yeah, I think it probably did inspire me to
Cool.
try and be like, I'll write rap and stuff. But yeah, I don't know why. Just everyone I know is pretty much an Eminem fan. Do you know what I mean? He just didn't really miss a market. Were you into him?
I was into Eminem. Not as much as I've always been into UK hip hop. Like, that's like, and old school American hip hop. So like, I mean, Eminem is pretty old school, but I like Black Star. I like Jurassic 5. Yeah, generally, even really old stuff. Like, I guess NWA and Grandmaster Flash and stuff like that. Like, so I was already into rap when I
Sure,
first met
sure.
Eminem. I liked his stuff, but then at the point that everyone was really getting into him, I started getting into, the UK scene was flaring up a little bit, and I was getting into like Chester P and Farmer G and that Task Force.
Right, fair.
But yeah, I mean, as a rhymer, obviously
Yeah, no.
he's incredible. Oh, yeah, big. Do you know Scroobius
Yeah,
Pip?
he is good. He is good. You're kind of lagging a bit on mine.
Oh,
Oh, I do.
really?
Yeah, yeah. He was planned. Well, there was a while where he was possibly going to have a rap battle, um, like a filmed one, but I don't think it happened. He was gonna. I think it was going to be against Mark Grist.
Okay.
It was a teacher turned poet turned rap battler turned back to poet. Like, and he went viral a few years back with a against so it was like teacher versus student was how it was built, and yeah, he was meant to have a battle, but it never materialized. I don't know why.
Oh,
Probably just
okay.
too much red tape around what he could and couldn't say, because he was a bit more of a name. But yeah, I remember he said, yeah, that track, Thou Shalt Always Kill. That was him,
Oh,
wasn't it?
brilliant. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah, that is Dan Lesat versus Scroobius Pip.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's a
Oh, sorry, I'm losing you.
so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it keeps cutting out. It says, just says Shuffle's network bandwidth is low.
Oh, that's a diss.
Yeah.
I'm getting dissed by your broadband.
Yep.
This is beef, mate. This is
Oh my God.
100% British beef.
British beef. Oh, someone's also asking. There's getting a lot of questions actually coming in, and lots of comments. Yeah, the teacher versus student battle was a good one. Someone says, "I like gold teeth."
Yeah.
And someone's asked that they've been asking about
Nice.
like, is casual racism acceptable in battles if it's comedic?
It's a good question. It's sort of like the rule in battle rap, or what's said at least, is that there is no line. You can sort of say whatever. Casual racism is absolutely a thing in battle raps. Kind of no matter what race you are or whatever. There are lines, I would say, you'd be very cautious to tread, like things like an actual slur, that holds a lot of weight. Would be something that I would say, if you do that, then you'll probably get booed off stage. Like, probably the only situation in which you would is if you do that, or worse. I mean, because you're it doesn't really matter of the context. It's just sort of holds so much weight that some things you literally can't say. But making jokes about generally about skin color is completely acceptable and done, and within that situation, because it kind of is like, it's meant to be a great leveling field. Everyone can say anything about anyone, so we're all in this. I doubt you'd really get a truly racist battle rapper, because they'd have to be in a place that was full of so many different ethnic backgrounds. You know what I mean? Just being in the event, you'd be around so many people who you'd hate. So I don't think you would even entertain doing it, really.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's light racism, but it's all in good fun. That's
nice.
Nice, light-hearted, friendly racism.
Yeah, we can all deal with a bit of casual, light-hearted racism. None of that.
What we kind of say is that, like, your line in battle raps should be really your line in real life. Like, if you think you were friends with someone who was black and you would make a joke about them being black and you think they'd be okay with it, then trust your instincts. But, like, don't go around and spurt off horrible race hate, because then people are going to think you're a racist. Like, it's just it's kind of common sense, but you're allowed to push the envelope, but don't push it too crazy.
Oh, that just reminds me, your sketch with Marlo, your racist sketch.
I'm not being racist.
I'm not being racist is incredible. Absolutely hilarious. There's honestly, there's been quite a few times where I've been inebriated with friends or at parties, and I've been like, "Look at this, you gotta watch this," or I've pulled up. Yeah, it's comedy gold.
You're the reason it's got any views.
Yeah. There's, I think I'm at least 50 of the 75 views. Okay, so it's glitching out. Yeah, I think you just answered that. There's more. I don't know. Maybe we've got a racist, subtly racist audience here, because there's a lot of questions about race.
I did bring it up, I suppose.
Yeah. I wanted to ask something, actually. I noticed you mates with Robbie Williams, right?
Yeah.
Is he going to go into battle rapping with you, do you think? Can you see that happening?
He might do. It's never too late. It's never too late. He's he's a big battle rap fan. He knows everything about it. He's super into it.
Really?
And, he followed me a little while ago, and it was so surreal, because people within battle rap sort of know me, but even if like an American battle rapper knows me, sometimes I'm taken aback. So I'm not like a star, and I'm not like a celebrity. I'm not even on the Z list. You know what I mean? So when I got followed by Robbie Williams, I was just like, "What do you mean? What do you mean Robbie Williams has followed you? Is this a glitch?" And so then I had to I told my girlfriend, and we were talking about it, and then I messaged him and just was like, "All right, mate, my mum's a big fan," and then just sort of like the conversation just happened, and then yeah, we were just talking about writing and rap and how he's into it. And then he was just like, I said, do you want to grab a beer? Forgetting that he was teetotal. And then we went and we just went met up at his hotel room and had a lovely evening. And then,
Cool.
yeah. And then, yeah, it was really nice. He gave my parents like tickets to go see his show, and we all went to see him, and he hung out with us for a bit before. Yeah,
Nice.
really, really nice guy. And yeah, sick guy. Just loves rap battles. Loves it.
Oh, you should. Oh, if you could get him on. Sorry, Marlo, but you know, if you could have, if Marlo could forgive you and allow him to be your partner for one doubles, that would be.
Hey, look, maybe. Who knows what
Yeah.
tomorrow brings? Let's see how bored he gets in lockdown, and maybe if he gets dangerously bored to the point where he's written a whole verse of battles.
Oh yeah, someone just said Robbie Williams is a good bloke, very honest. Yes, I
Lovely guy.
Yeah. We've gone over an hour, and the Zoom meeting ends quite shortly. So if there's anything you want to say, or obviously promote your book as much as you can, maybe we can stick the video on for another minute and it won't glitch out. Let's try that. We'll go back to
I'd love to have taken my shirt off and just be here. Like, do you know what I mean? If I thought ahead, maybe if I was more body positive, I would have gone for it. Yeah, look, guys. Yeah, grab the book. It's the Advanced Rhyming Dictionary. It is a lot of fun. It is a good book, and it's if you have any interest in language at all, or rap or poetry or anything like that, or songwriting, then I think it's a good book. It's really good for like getting like a creative prompt. It'll get your brain going whenever you get a bit of writer's block. Check out the podcast if you get a chance. Something About Rhyme. It's on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It's on my website as well, which is shuffle-t.com. I'm also available to write stuff if you want stuff written. Just whatever. Just hit me up. If you want anything, I'll battle you tomorrow. Just please contact me. I'm bored. But yeah, brilliant. So that's me.
Oh, there's so many more questions. It's crazy. Sorry, but we're gonna have to go in a second.
We can do another one.
Yeah, you know what? Let's hopefully, if lockdown ends, if it ends, you never know.
There's your optimism.
When lockdown ends, maybe you should come on out and we can do one in person where we can actually have a beer.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
brilliant. I'd love that.
Thank you so much for your time. And
it's been a pleasure, man. Thank you.
I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, man.
Cheers, Ash. See ya. Bye. Bye.
Okay, so that was Shuffle T. Thank you so much, everybody, for all of the interaction there. If you're listening to this right now, wow, you're missing out because there was some actually very, very, very funny comments from people. And we did some interactive rhymes, as you heard earlier. I've got a few comments I'll just read out that I guess we'll save for next time. I'll stay a bit longer, keep it going. If you could choose one famous person, pretend they can rap to battle with. Okay, so we will have Shuffle T back, and next time it will be in our podcast studio when lockdown is lifted. So make sure you stay tuned. Please follow our Instagram page. That's instagram.com/Shifty Perspective. If you have any podcast apps such as Podbean or Apple Podcasts, etc., please add Shifty Perspective on there to your feed so that we get the downloads and the follows. And please also subscribe to our Facebook group, Shifty Perspective. There's two groups. There's the podcast private group where you can suggest guests, and there's the main page, which we need to get likes. So invite your friends, invite people, get it to grow. We've got more guests coming, other exciting guests. In fact, next week we have, it's next week. What day is it? No, sorry. In 2 weeks' time, we have a TED Talks guy who is also an author, and really interesting guy. We've got some other comedians, some musicians, some actually really, really exciting names who've put themselves forward. So please stay tuned, follow us, and stay shifty, guys. Thanks a lot. See you next time.